So I can't not talk about After We Fell and After Ever Happy.
Yes.
I love, you know how much I love the After series so much. And I spoke a little bit with Castile Landon for her film Fear of Rain, and also Kiana Madeira for her film Sphere Street. And they gave me some little, tidbits here and there, and they were so kind. I'm so excited for After We Fell. And I know that, yes, I know that you and Anna worked a bit with Castile, or a lot, prior to filming in Bulgaria. Can you, share a little bit about, I guess what it was like filming that as well during COVID, and what your involvement with that?
It was really unbelievable because,
Yeah.
well, we developed the scripts from scratch, with Sharon, then we hired Castile.
Yes.
Together with the studio.
Yes.
We did all the pre-production, costume designer, DP, production designer, all of those things. So we surrounded her with an amazing team.
And this was in the last summer, right?
It was last summer, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when they told us, they were like, we really think that you guys should produce remotely just because of COVID and everything. And honestly, as heartbreaking as it was for me, because those kids are my family and I love them so much, the idea of going halfway across the world in the middle of the pandemic, because I have two kids who were home at
and Anna has a kid too. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And my kids were having a really hard time with the pandemic and everything. And so I knew that I had helped Castile set up the movies, and I knew Hero and Joe knew the characters so well at that point, and that we felt really good about where the scripts were and everything. So I was like, yeah, that's fine, I'll produce remotely. So I just watched everything that they were shooting every day. I don't think I slept for the last 2 or 3 months of last year, because between the after movies and making this, it was just around the clock. But worth it, because Castile nailed it. I mean, she knocked it out of the park. I am so excited for the fans to see
the teaser looks so good. The hot scene, the cabin scene looks gorgeous. And also like the cinematography, and like it just looks like a really soft, beautiful film.
Incredible. Yeah, our DP was absolutely amazing. He did all the bright places on Netflix and everything.
Yeah, I spoke with Ellen Justice for that film. I love all the bright places. I know you spoke on, I think a little bit on social, that Hero and Joe just really obviously just fully fleshed out the characters in these last two films. Is there any what can, I know book readers know what happens and everything, but what is something that you can give fans that might be a little bit surprising, coming from Hero and Joe's performances specifically?
I mean, honestly, I was floored by the amount of emotion, but that I felt watching the end, even though I've now seen it probably 100 times. I'm
so jealous.
I know. Well, you'll get to very soon, but yeah. I love the end and where their relationship ends up. I mean, the movie that guts me is number 4.
Oh,
I mean, absolutely guts me.
Oh. I'm looking forward to it.
I don't want to give too much away, but basically, Hero's performance, and when they get to London with the discovery and the aftermath of that, and they're both so good in the movie. I'm so excited for everybody to see.
And I also love Stephen Moyer as an actor so much. True Blood was one of my favorite shows of all time. I literally rewatched it so many times in college, and I think that was a really excellent casting choice.
He's amazing.
Amazing. I'm so excited.
The fans, obviously I love Charlie, but I know the fans have wanted somebody with an English accent, so I think they're going to be really happy. And he and Hero got along unbelievably well, and I think you see their chemistry too.
I'm excited to see what the next two films have in store. Well, I asked, I got tons of fan questions for you. So to wrap kind of here really quick, a lot of fans, kind of just want to know what it was like to wrap filming the after movies. I know you were doing it remotely and you saw, them remotely, but what is it like? Was it kind of a bittersweet feeling? I know the next two films haven't come out yet, but since you are kind of done wrapping, what is the feeling like?
I mean, it was super, super emotional. That having been said, as soon as we wrapped, we started into post on 2 movies. So I have literally been working this entire year nonstop on post because we've edited both movies back to back.
Right.
So it's been, and now, the movies are going to come out in September and then the following year. So this is now still going to be in my life for another year and a half to come.
I want it to be in my life for another year and a half too. So I'm there with you.
It will be. And, I love Hero and Joe so much. I got to spend some time with them when they came to town. I shot that picture that everybody loved so much of them in the office. It was so fun to watch the movies with them in the theater.
Can you share, I love that picture. Can you share a little bit about what, like a scene that they were really particularly happy that turned out, like some of their feedback without giving too much away there after they saw the film together?
Yeah. I mean, I think for them, it's obviously like, it's hard to sit and watch like the sexier scenes. They're both kind of like, oh God,
it is hard. Yeah.
Because it's just so weird to watch yourself on screen doing that. Josephine in particular, it's hilarious because I'll be sitting next to her and she's like, oh my God. But when you get to their really, really emotional stuff, I think they're both, I was like watching both of their faces, watching themselves in those scenes, knowing that there was real depth and emotion, and I could see them both like with little smiles on their faces being really happy with their performances. And I think I wanted to capture that moment when we walked out of the room of like both of them just with big smiles on their faces, having watched themselves.
Yes, well, the fandom thanks you so much for that. I love that photo so much. It's really cool that they got to see it together. So one